Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be an analysis of some of the more popular futures markets out there for day traders. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, one quick clarification, and that is I'll be using the 1 hour time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here, if you're a beginner, represents 1 hour's worth of time. So first market we are going to take a look at is the NQ. And as a reminder, even if you just trade the MNQ, these mirror image one another. So you could still apply the levels over on the MNQ also if you wanted. But this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have watched the past videos. But if you have, hopefully remember me talking about the resistance trend line right there, because you can see earlier on in the session, got the breakup through there, hesitated a little bit with the 50 period moving average, but then eventually pushed up through there, and you can see got very, very nice follow through. So overall, quite the bullish session, breakout of the trend line, and now it's just a question of can this momentum carry in to next week. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level as it served its purpose for now. And really moving forward now, if you were to say, Clay, what would make this chart, this chart look the healthiest? What would make the breakout look the healthiest? And that would be if the price can now start to stay above the former key breakout point right there, that 50 period moving average right there at, let's just call it 19,500. So 19,500, very, very important level, at least in my opinion, because if the price were to drop down to there and then go down below it, what all of a sudden would you have in that situation? Well, you would have the price having gone right back to where it was. And I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but when price movements make a good move and then all of a sudden go back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine strength. Again, I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, but that's why, in my opinion at least, that level right there is a very, very important area of support. In terms of areas of resistance, key battleground now, it seems moving into the next session, right up here at these highs of about 19,780. But even if the price pushes up through there, I wouldn't get overly excited about it, because not that far away, you then have the 200 period moving average, that pink line looming overhead, right now valid at the 19,000, let's just call it 900 mark. But all in all, anyway, look at it. You got to like the movement. The price is now starting to build higher lows, and that's the name of the game. So now it's just a question of can the price push up through there, and then who knows, even maybe get up above that pink line. If that can occur, then you can really start to make the argument that perhaps the NQ bulls are finally getting some footing again and building some true momentum. Next one here, looking at the ES, and another solid day here for a couple different reasons. Reason number one, it was able to break back above that area of resistance, and like the NQ, was able to break up above that 50 period moving average purple line there, and then got very, very nice follow through from there. So a lot like the NQ, this one is showing good signs of strength. Yes, there's more work that needs to be done, but again, you can't really find too much fault with today's session, and that is also where when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. And I would argue that 55.60 mark, very, very important for the same logic that I just was using beforehand. So not saying this will occur, but if the price were to come down there and then break down below it, what do you have at that point in time? You have the price literally going right back to where it was. And again, not a sign of genuine strength. But the good news is that would take quite the pullback for the price to even revisit that level. But nonetheless, that's why I would consider that, basically a must-hold level for next week if you want to make the argument that the bulls are starting to regain some momentum and make a push in the upwards direction. In the near term, we have kind of two key levels, in my opinion. First key level will be that resistance trend line right there. But even if you break above there, I wouldn't get overly excited about it, because just like the NQ looming up overhead, you do have the 200 period moving average. But if the price can clear both these areas, then that's where the argument for the bulls regaining strength, regaining momentum becomes that much stronger. But anyway, look at it. Good close for the session, assuming you're bullish. Next one here, we're looking at the YM, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have watched the past videos, but we have been tracking this falling wedge pattern, which is a bullish pattern, and finally the price got the break up through there, came up, got the break of the purple line too, but a beautiful falling wedge breakout was a struggle. Tried to break out right there, did not find any success, but finally found success today and are now getting some follow through. So like a lot of these other indices, it's just now a question of this movement here, no doubt about it, it is strong, but is there any sort of genuine power behind it? That's where we have to start to watch those progress points. And actually, let me first just get rid of the pattern. It's played its role now. But in terms of where's the progress point at in this one, I would say the level that you would want to see the price now stay up above is right there around the 41.20 mark, because same logic, if the price comes on there and then breaks down below it, you understand the price is now gone right back to where it was, and that's not a good sign from a bullish standpoint of things. In terms of areas of resistance, very near-term level, looks like we have some peaks right there. Is that where yeah, right there about 41,500. And then after that, Also keep an eye on that 200 period moving average right there. But yes, building higher bases. Now it's just a question of can this momentum carry? So all three of these, the NQ, the ES, and the YM, showing momentum. Let's see if it carries into next week. Next one here, we're moving out of the indices and into the oil market, and specifically we'll take a look at crude. So looking at CL, and this trend line I had in place, and I mean, just the power of trend line. So the price broke through it right there, got a good enough flush. I mean, from a trading standpoint, good move there. And then check it out. You just can't make this stuff up. When levels of support are broken, they tend to act as resistance. Bounce back up there, hit the trend line. So former support acting as resistance. Back down it went, and now it is recovering back up. So I am 100% leaving that trend line in play there because it is a lot of people are clearly watching that. So now that the price is down below it, you'd expect it to act as resistance. So we'll change that to red for resistance. But continue to watch that trend line moving forward. In terms of support trend lines, you have that area right there that's starting to make itself apparent. So keep an eye on that. And of course, no guarantees. But if the price were to come back down there and then get a break to that level, I could see that certainly creating more downside pressure. Again, no guarantees, but I don't think that's a very irrational thought on my part to have in regards to that level right there. And if the price can push up through that level right there, then just continue to watch the 68.25 mark, which is this overarching red line right there. But overall, from a nasty break there, it did recover. Sure, it rolled back over, but now it's trying to recover back upwards. So we'll see what happens with it. But you definitely, I think, some very well-defined trend lines now that a lot of people will be watching, which makes it that much more interesting because you can get those potential self-fulfilling prophecies. So we'll have to see what happens with it. Next one here, we are into the precious metal market, specifically gold, GC. And gold finally did pull back a little bit here, but overall it still had a very, very impressive week. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level. So this is all about perspective. I mean, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there and wanted to buy and sell within, 14 minutes, well then yes, from that standpoint, things are looking rough because the price did pull back. But for those of you that have watched the previous videos, hopefully remember me putting that trend line in place right there. And you can see that even with the trend line, or even with the pullback, the price is still above that trend line. So yes, if you're a day trader and you bought up there, you probably don't care about the trend line. But just from an overarching standpoint, the bulls are still in control. And even if you didn't have that trend line in place, another way you could still see that the bulls are in full control. That purple line there, very nice upward slope to it. Price is still nicely above it. So whatever makes the most sense in your mind to kind of gauge the health of the trend right now, you use whatever obviously is going to make sense to you. But more of the story, yes, it pulled back, but bigger picture, still plenty of opportunity to build a higher base and which is what it's all about. In terms of areas of resistance, no need to overcomplicate this. Just ask a very simple question. Where did the party finally stop today for the bulls? And that was up there at about 30.17. So 30.17 will be that main battleground to watch moving forward. And it's just a question of will the price maintain the trend line to push back up there, or does gold need a bit of a bigger pullback, which I don't think would be too shocking, given that it's was knocking on all-time highs and is just had a very strong week. So pullbacks, like I said, I don't think would be out of the question. So if this trend line here fails, like I said, I don't think anybody would be too shocked by that. But overall, very, very impressive week for gold. So that wraps up the analysis. Before I go, though, I want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering next week. So if you've enjoyed what you saw and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down below in the description area you can use. Or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage. But like I said, it'll be next week, Thursday, March 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these analysis videos are concerned, as always, if you enjoy these, hit that like button. And if you're looking for a super free and easy way to support the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.